Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, in order to embrace and enjoy the success for which you were born, it is critically important that you, as well as I, learn to become self-starters. That means we must decide and determine to be people of action. Success in life is achieved by doing. Tragically, there are very few people who have mastered the internal motivation to be self-starters. I read one time a statement that said, if more husbands were self-starters, fewer wives would be cranks. Some of you will get that on the way home. Here's the truth. If we are not diligent, we all tend to settle into a rut. It's easy to settle into a rut. Let me ask you a question. Are you in a rut? Some ruts are so powerful that we can be in them and not realize it. We cannot take ruts lightly because if we stay in one long enough, it can turn into a grave. The only difference between a rut and a grave is how deep it is and how long you're in it. I want to give you the first rule of ruts. Stop digging. Let me give you some examples of how to tell if you may be in a rut. If you can't remember the last time you tried something for the first time, you might be in a rut. If you compare yourself to others rather than comparing yourself to the best possible version of yourself, you might be in a rut. If you're comfortable living a life filled with unrealized goals, if you spend more time varnishing the past than constructing the future, if average has become acceptable to you and you have settled for a good life because you have given up on ever having a great life, you're probably in a rut. If you're spending most of your time watching others live out their dreams on television and in tabloids, then you are pursuing your own ambitions and aspirations. If you find yourself constantly playing the victim, looking for someone to side with you or feel sorry for you, you're probably in a rut. Let me go a bit further. If you haven't made a big mistake lately, you're probably in a rut. Because you stopped playing to win and instead you're playing not to lose. Just about the time you're within striking distance of something great, you let up and break your own momentum. That's a rut. If no one is stopping you from greater things and a greater life, if no one is talking about you, if no one is jealous of you, if no one is lying on you, you are definitely in a rut. Is there anyone here today who knows of someone who is possibly in a rut? Well, if you know of someone, or perhaps you are that someone who has settled unwittingly into a rut, I've got some great news for you. You can break out. Yes, you can. Today is a good day to break out and set new goals. Age doesn't matter. What does it matter to live a long time if you don't do anything with your life? The only thing that matters is now. It's never too late to start. Hear me. No one can get you out of your rut if you're determined to stay in it. Conversely, no one can keep you in a rut once you've made up your mind you are coming out. I want to give you a couple of other rules to help you break out your rut and get your life moving. Rule number 2, we must accept responsibility for our own lives. Don't blame anyone else. Because if you are unhappy, guess what? You are unhappy. We love to project on others what is true of us. And finally, don't wait for ideal circumstances. So many of us believe that if we cannot do something perfectly, then we should not do it at all. For example, say it with me. Practice makes
perfect.
No, it doesn't. Practice makes improvement. Poet and author Burton Braley once said, and I paraphrase, if you want something bad enough, you go out and fight for it. You work day and night for it. You give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. If all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless, worthless without it. If you gladly sweat for it, fret for it, and plan for it, lose all fear of the opposition for it. If you simply go after that thing that you want with all your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famine nor gout, sickness nor pain of body and brain can keep you away from that thing that you want, if dogged and grin you beseech and beset it, with the help of God, I declare you will get it. That thing that I'm talking about is your heart's desire. It really is. Successful people take action. Don't ever let yourself be a victim of your own circumstances. Let's get up our rut and get our lives moving. Madam Toastmaster.